This is our news, the weekend edition. And on the broadcast tonight, construction on Carnival's Grand Port on Grand Bahama balloons in cost. The Works Minister provides an update on the Fishing Hole Road. Plus, Chinese embassy officials address allegations of excessive foreign labor at the POINTE development. And later on, Rotary hosts a peace conference.
Our news is brought to you by Alive.
Good evening, I'm Andrew Knowles, and thanks so much for joining us. The Grand Port by Carnival Cruise Line, set to break ground this year on Grand Bahama, has already doubled in cost. That according to the company's Chief Communications Officer, Chris CHIAMES. When the heads of agreement was signed last September, the projected cost came in at $100 million. However, as the scope of the project changed post-Hurricane Dorian, Grand Port has ballooned in cost to nearly $200 million.
Well, we've, like its name, or its working name, Grand Port, we have grand plans. And so as we think about more things we want to do, or again to be able to build in a way that it will be able to withstand future storms or anything else we want to do to make this the best private destination in the region, the price tag goes up. It's a long-term investment that we're prepared to make. We think we benefit, but we also think that people of the Bahamas also benefit from our building the very best development that's possible.
Carnival Cruise Line is looking to start construction on its new destination by summer, with over 500 to 1,000 jobs to be created once complete.
Up to 1,000 construction jobs during the project build out, and then we're going to be looking at local vendors and local opportunities for residents of Grand Bahama to work at the facility. There will be food and beverage offerings, there will be recreational offerings, there will be new tour offerings.
According to CHIAMES, 2 environmental impact assessments have already been completed by Carnival Cruise Line and are now in the hands of the BEST Commission for approval.
That is a work in progress. All the permitting and licensing issues are still being worked through. We hope to get all those approvals late spring, early summer, and to be able to ground break and start construction this summer.
Meantime, additional funds have been approved to get the multi-million-dollar Fishing Hole Road project back on track. That according to Works Minister Desmond Bannister. Giorgio Bain reports.
Just last August, the $6.5 million Fishing Hole Road causeway was nearing completion. Since the passage of Hurricane Dorian, Minister of Works Desmond Bannister says the causeway has suffered several setbacks. He called the project an environmental nightmare.
Fishing Hole Road has always, in my mind, been an environmental. That area has been an environmental nightmare because of the things that have been allowed to happen, and because of the development that's happened in there. The people in Queens Cove and other communities in Grand Bahama have continuously been flooded. In Dorian, there was some overtopping because it is not it's not the kind of area that we like. That's why we're having the causeway there. The causeway was damaged, and as a result of the damage of the causeway, the asphalt on the causeway was damaged.
According to the Works Minister, $1 million has already been allocated by the government to conduct major repairs to the causeway.
What the government has done now is approved a little over $1 million to take that asphalt off, put concrete on there. That work, the concrete and the materials, etc., have been ordered by the contractor. And we anticipate that within the next two months we're going to have that causeway finished so that people can utilize it on a regular basis.
Flooding has been a long-standing issue experienced by residents who utilize the roadway. Bannister says he feels as though it should have been a bridge and not a causeway following the effects of Dorian. He will now be pushing for bridges rather than causeways.
The intention of this government would have been to have a bridge there rather than a causeway. That causeway was built under another administration. We're finishing it. It's like the causeway in ABACO. You all saw what happened to that in the storm. There was intention in Little Abaco to build a bridge. As the Minister of Public Works, I'm going to build a new bridge in Abaco. I can't speak about causeways that are built that can be overtopped whenever we have storms.
Reporting for our News Weekend edition, I'm Georgia Bank.
Chinese embassy officials are responding to claims by Labor Director John Pinder that the Point development in downtown Nassau is not adhering to the labor component of the heads of agreements. The embassy spokesperson says officials are aware of the report.
Actually, I noticed the report concerning the labor issue with regard to the Point project. I also noticed that the opinion of the company is quite different from the news and also the opinion of the Ministry of Labor. I refer you to the CCA for this issue and also the Ministry of Labor.
The heads of agreement between the Point and government of the Bahamas stipulates a labor ratio of 70% Bahamian workers to 30% foreign workers. Labor Director John Pinder says that ratio has been more like the reverse, with more than 70% foreign workers found after an investigation by Labor Department officials.
The embassy's position is that if there is an agreement, this agreement should be respected. And also the Chinese embassy always encourage the Chinese company to hire as many as Bahamian employees.
Well, progress on addressing the ratio of Bahamian to foreign workers at the Point is being held up because two of the managers recently traveled to China and now cannot get back into the Bahamas. That's according to Labor Minister DION FOULKES.
We haven't done a new assessment yet, but we are in the process of doing that. We had spoken to the principals of the Point. Unfortunately, both of the main managers are in China. They went for the New Year, and unfortunately, because of the virus, they were unable to return to the Bahamas. I don't know when he's going to return, but as soon as he does, we intend to have a meeting with him.
The managers cannot re-enter the country due to the government's decision to ban travel from China in an effort to prevent the spread of the novel coronavirus. Well, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is continuing to keep a close eye on Bahamians who reside in China, given the ever-increasing number of confirmed cases and deaths being reported in recent days. Wuhan, China is considered to be the epicenter of the outbreak, and Bahamians are living in that Chinese province.
We're all very concerned about Bahamians in China, particularly those students that are in Wuhan. We advise them to follow the authorities' advice on how they should keep safe until they're capable and able to come home to the Bahamas.
The World Health Organization and the United States have declared the outbreak a public health emergency, but U.S. officials have urged residents not to panic. The death toll from the new coronavirus that surfaced in China late last year surpassed 1,300 this week. There have been more than 60,000 reported cases. Well, still ahead tonight, on the road to peace, Rotary Bahamas hosts a forum for conflict resolution and solutions for peace. We'll tell you all about it when our news, the Weekend Edition, returns.
With Trio, you can get everything and more. Get 150% download speed increase than if you got internet alone, an enhanced television experience, and 15 phone features, all for, wait, it's still $99? But we boosted the internet speed. I'm just asking. Okay, fine. Just call 601-2200 and tell them that you want Trio, TV, phone, internet for $99. Powered by Rev. You and us together. Next tonight, a man who was reported missing on Grand Bahama was found dead on Friday.
Police on that island say they were conducting inquiries of a reported missing male in the Lewis Yard area around 6 p.m. when they discovered the man's body at his home. He was taken to the Rand Memorial Hospital where he was pronounced dead by a doctor. Police say foul play is suspected. An autopsy will be performed to determine the exact cause of death. Well, exploring approaches for conflict resolution and crime prevention was the goal of a one-day peace conference. Rotary Bahamas brought together local and international speakers today to discuss programs for peace while focusing on solutions that can make the greatest impact.
We need to come together as a community and stop the violence, because my friend Jess was shot recently, and because he was a member of a gang, and we really need to stop and abolish gangs and everything inside the Bahamas.
Brandon Butterfield is worried about the country's future with the level of violence in today's society. What's even more concerning is the amount of crime being committed by those in his age bracket. He believes parents need to step up.
It really starts at home, really and truly. My parents need to do better jobs in raising their child, and that they need to be parents, but not the child be their friends. That's how basically most parents are now. They treat their child like they are their friends.
Brandon was among several students attending Rotary's Road to Peace conference. The conference brought together various stakeholders to discuss conflict resolution and solutions for peace.
This is so important because of the problems we have with crime in our country. We feel this is needed. We've been promoting peace in our schools. We put on peer mediation and conflict resolution in our schools just to help these young kids to deal with conflict. Young kids need this help. They see it in school, they see it at home, and they just react like that. Adults need conflict resolution also, because they are certainly acting very badly. And this kind of thing is needed in our country, where we can calm things down.
One of the keynote speakers was David LOCKETT, co-founder of PACT Canada. The program is known for its early intervention models that deliver positive and significant long-term social impact while creating peace in urban and rural communities.
So by working with the education system, we are able to make earlier and earlier interventions. One of the things we just introduced that we're really excited about after working and developing the coaching model with huge success in the youth courts is to get to kids earlier, and we just started to take referrals from grade 7 through some of our most difficult schools in our priority neighborhoods. Getting to kids when they're 13 years old as opposed to 17 with a long record, and the results are spectacular.
The conference also explored the judicial and social approaches to crime and peaceful resolutions. Rotaries International's immediate past president, Barry RASSIN, says he's encouraged by the volume of solutions being proposed.
And I guess my one hope is that our government can embrace the need to do something different. If we really want to disrupt crime in this country, we've got to think differently and do differently. If we continue doing the same thing we've always done, we will have the same results.
Also in attendance was Parliamentary Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Pakeisha Parker Edgecombe, who called to the peace conference timely.
There were several areas that we spoke about, from the judiciary and what we need to do at that level, government agencies, and even as much as the home front. I think that all of these places and what have you, once we were to come together and put our minds together, you'll find that solutions can be achieved. We have a lot of situations in our community that are undetected, and I think that by us coming together in forums such as this, it makes a difference at the end of the day, because we all know what each other is doing and how we can benefit and play off of each other.
Up next, the Metropolitan Police set to return to ABACO, so stay with us.
With Trio, you can get everything and more. Get 150% download speed increase than if you got internet alone. An enhanced television experience and 15 phone features, all for, wait, it's still $99? But we boosted the internet speed. I'm just asking. Okay, fine. Just call 601-2200 and tell them that you want Trio, TV, phone, internet for $99. Powered by Rev. You and us together.
Welcome back to our news, the weekend edition. Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands confirming that the Bahamas has accepted an offer from the Metropolitan Police to assist with victim identification in the islands hardest hit by Dorian. Head of British Diplomatic Services, Sir Simon MacDonald, this past week announced that the Metropolitan Police out of the United Kingdom will return to the Bahamas next week. He made the announcement at the official reopening of the new UK High Commission.
Next week, the Metropolitan Police will return to provide further assistance on victim identification. This kind of collaboration will be the cornerstone of how we work together in future as we forge a modern partnership.
According to SANS, the victim identification process falls under the purview of the Ministry of National Security and is facilitated by the Ministry of Health. In the immediate aftermath of the storm, the British Royal Navy deployed its auxiliary aid ships to offer support. The ships were fully equipped with a helicopter for rescue and surveying operations. The National Neighborhood Council prepares for its Peace March that's coming up.
With Trio, you can get everything and more. Get 150% download speed increase than if you got internet alone, an enhanced television experience, and 15 phone features, all for, wait, it's still $99? But we boosted the internet speed. I'm just asking. Okay, fine. Just call 601-2200 and tell them that you want Trio, TV, phone, internet for $99. Powered by Rev. You and us together.
With the recent spike in armed robberies and home invasions here in the capital, the National Neighborhood Watch Council is calling on all Bahamians to do their part. The council, which was formed back in 2018, comprises the presidents of watches from 119 communities here in New Providence and Grand Bahama. Alicia Hart is the council's co-chair.
We can't anticipate that the solution is the Royal Bahamas Police Force. We can't invest in enforcement. We must invest our time and our strength in identifying preventative measures, and that's the primary responsibility of each citizen of the Bahamas. So yes, the Neighborhood Watch Council is addressing crime, violence, and prevention in our country, and that's the way forward for us.
Among the Council's objectives are crime deterrence, youth violence prevention, and strategic intervention and educative programs and initiatives. One such initiative is the Council's Peace March and Fun Day next Saturday.
We know that there are a number of violence going on throughout our communities, and this is a fantastic opportunity to show your support for non-violence and also to show your support for community, because community is very important as relates to curbing crime, because once you know who I am, you're less likely to come and rob me. Or once I know your parents, you are less likely to come and harm me. So it's a wonderful opportunity for us to recognize and identify as a country that it's time for us to embrace community throughout.
The march will begin at 10 a.m., leaving from Windsor Park to Arawak Key. A church service will also be held the following day on February 23rd.